Well, hello there. I'm Grace Kelly Miller, and you're listening to the No Small Roles podcast. Fun fact, both episodes 1 and 2 were originally intended to be unpublished session zeros. Tester games that would never see the light of day, where we would all have the chance to explore playing our creatively concocted characters. Oh, I just love alliteration. But most importantly, it was an opportunity to get to grips with a most fearsome and mind-boggling foe called technology. Terrifying. As it turns out, these games were rather good fun and worked pretty well. So, dear listener, you get to hear them after all. I know. However, we, the No Small Roles cast, do ask you to be so kind as to forgive any stumbles whilst we're still finding our feet. After all, we're just a group of humans pretending to inhabit a magical world where our fates depend on the roll of a dice. We hope you enjoy listening as much as we love playing. David, over to you.
Hello and welcome to Session 0, Part 1 of No Small Roles. It's a D&D podcast where there are no small roles, just big, bold choices. I'm David Knight, he, him, actor, writer and composer. I'll be your DM. And today I've got 3 of our players who are all chomping at the bit, I can see, to start playing. So I might as well just let them introduce themselves. We've not rolled initiative for this or anything, but Vicky, why don't you go first?
Hi, I'm Vicky Gaskin. I use she and her pronouns, and I'm a performer. I specialise in a lot of movement and creature-based performance, but I also run Open Book and Open Bar Theatre Company. Yay! And we love all of these guys. And I write and perform sketch comedy. So, yeah, lots of fingers in lots of pies. That'll be fun next year. And I will be playing Juna, who also uses female pronouns. Very exciting.
Boys, who wants to take it next? I'll let you fight it out.
Ben, after you, mate.
Thank you very much, Darrel. Hi, everyone. I'm Ben Galpin. I use he, him pronouns. I'm an actor. I'm also occasionally have been known to be a chemist and web designer and editor and, I don't know, other stuff. I'm playing Orryn Quill, who also uses male pronouns.
I'm Darrel Bailey, he, him pronouns. Also an actor and martial artist, disciple of Jeet Kune Do. And I will be playing Enkidu, who also uses he, him pronouns.
Nice. So we've all played a bit of D&D before, but for anyone listening, basically the game is a communal storytelling thing with dice rolling to determine any character's success or failure. The story goes where the characters lead it, and the difference between saving the world and dying horribly is normally down to the results of a dice roll. This is just a session 0, so it's really just for everyone here to get to grips with their characters before the story starts properly. And for you 3, our game is set in the region of El Timpir. I've obviously already talked through a little bit with you guys before in your character creations. The game starts in the country of Dravain, and even more specifically for you 3, it starts in the Lockholt Wood, which is a large, overgrown forest with lots of hidden secrets, dangerous creatures, and you've actually yet to meet each other. But before you do that, cue the theme tune!
Prepare your party of players and polyhedral dice. Your tragic backstory better be worth the sacrifice. Seize your sheets and D20. Let's play D&D. Your haggard character swaggers with daggers in each hand. You've all discussed what you must, but even better laid plans. Take a turn when checks are missed.
Roll initiative. Brandish your blades. Don't fail your saves. No risk too great, no choice to roll. This is your story. No guts, no glory. Confront your fate with every roll. Every
rises inside, one who will pay the price. Their chance of success or
press upon that dice. No risk too great, no choice too bold. This is No Small Rolls.
Whilst passing through the Lockholt Wood on your way to Tillisham, you have each fallen for the same trap. A human woman, copper hair, freckled face, in a panic, has asked for your help whilst you're travelling along the road. She says, my wife, she says, she went after our little puppy and he ran into a cave and neither of them has come out again. She's clearly distressed, and each separately, you've agreed to join her briefly in the search and enter the gloomy cave nearby, with the woman following closely behind. After winding through seemingly endless dark tunnels, you were caught completely unawares and knocked unconscious.
Oh no.
Yep. Who's got the highest constitution? What's your constitution scores?
+2.
+3.
Wow.
+2. In which case, Juna Septhorn, you are the first person to wake up in the darkness.
Oh no, my head's so sore. Oh, what just happened? Excuse me, young men. You alive?
So yeah, there are two other bodies on the floor beside you. It's quite dark. I don't know if you have dark vision.
I do have dark vision.
Dark vision, in which case you're absolutely fine. You see them.
Vision.
Yeah, you realise that you're in like a tiny little space in this cave, not where you were when you fell unconscious. Having a very quick scan of the room, you can see your own bag has been completely emptied out on the ground, but there's a couple of other bags which you assume belong to these other two bodies on the ground as well.
Do I have my staff with me, my walking stick?
Yeah, it's in amongst all of your stuff there. It's just been sort of thrown aside.
Oh, I just sort of draggy crawl my way over and get my stick and sort of. Excuse me. Hello, young men.
Who would you like to poke? Actually, if you could, Orryn and Enkidu, if you could both describe what your characters look like. Enkidu, if you go first.
Sure. So Enkidu is a human. He has dark skin. He's about 5'10" in height. He's kind of lean. He has short grey hair. Yeah, he's kind of like a round features. He's got like a long black coat with a fur hood, black boots, kind of fingerless gloves, kind of looking military-esque, and he carries a scimitar strapped to his back. Yeah, that's a basic description of him there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So he's lying in the dirt on one side, and on the other side.
Yeah.
There's a fairly young-looking human, short, much shorter than Enkidu Kai, about 5 foot tall. Quite slight as well. He's got sort of dusty blonde, unkempt-looking hair. He's wearing like a leather sort of waistcoaty sort of armor sort of type thing. He's got sort of various tools and things strapped around his body, assuming they've not been removed. I'm not sure.
Some of them have been sort of taken off and dropped around you, but yeah, they're all mostly there.
And almost like a sort of a brace on one of his legs as well.
I'm gonna wake one of them up, but can I just do an Arcana check first of all?
Yeah, what for?
Just to see if I don't know how much I should say or how much I shouldn't say, just to see if there's 7 stuff involved.
Yeah. Do an Arcana check.
18.
18. Oh, that's quite high. So yeah, that's all fairly innate within you. So you can tell quite instantly that that's nothing.
Cool.
That's this is an entirely separate thing. But also being an 18, you do get a brief sort of flash of this woman muttering something just before you fell unconscious. It was quite quick, but clearly she had cast a spell or used some sort of magical essence-y thing to knock you all out. Because you don't feel especially now that you've woken up, you don't feel hurt at all.
whoever is nearest me, I'm just going to be like, prod with my stick with the amethyst end. Young man, you there. I think maybe Enkidu Kai, just because I feel like he won't appreciate it. Excuse me. Oi, young man. Young man.
I feel... Does this wake me?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, fine, yeah.
Are you alive? Are you alive?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I quickly roll off my back, try to whip the scimitar as quickly as I can, and just swing it around me like, what the... Just totally surprised to be like, what the hell is this? Where is this? Who are you? Are you that oldest trick in the bloody book?
I'm Juna. I'm a friend. I think what's happened to us is there was like a lady who was like getting us to sort out our puppy, and she muttered some magic of some sort, and I feel like she's tricked us maybe.
Oh, bloody hell!
And now we're a bit trapped. So I think maybe we need to get out of here.
Where are we?
Can you see where we are?
No.
Can you see around you, young man?
No, I can't see.
We seem to be.
I can't see you.
Well, I tell you what. Here's my hand. Feel my hand. I'm
Fine.
Juna.
Where?
I'm Juna.
Like, okay.
Nice to meet you. What's your name, young man?
Enkidu.
It's nice to meet you, Enkidu.
Yeah, right.
If you just take my hand, I'm gonna go and poke this other young man over here.
There's
make
somebody
sure
else.
there's somebody else. He's just on the floor over here, and I sort of
Where?
softly.
You keep saying here, but I don't see where you're
I
pointing
softly
to.
like pull your hand and be like, just follow me over here, and just I put your hand on Orryn's arm and poke him with my stick. Excuse me.
Wait.
Excuse me.
Ow.
Excuse me.
Ow! What you? What?
Hello.
Hello?
Are you alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
What-
gosh, she got you as well.
What? Hang on.
The old hag from outside. What? She said something about a puppy or something.
I mean, she wasn't very nice, but I don't take kindly to the word hag. I find it quite offensive to the elderly.
Right.
Right, hang on, one sec.
But I do acknowledge that she was not a very nice lady.
Damn it.
DM, do I have any of my tinker's tools or thieves' tools upon my person currently?
I mean, you'd know exactly where they are on your, like, sort of in your pouches and things.
Yeah.
And sort of you find bits of them. But like having like a quick scrabble around in the dirt, you manage to find like the rest of like the pieces that you're after. You like your backpack and that is definitely off of you. And Juna, you can see that, like I said before, some of the bags have been like strewn around the place. So yeah, you don't have that with you, but you do have a set of tools on you.
Cool.
Are these bags yours?
Hang on, I can't see a thing currently.
Well,
Hold there 1 sec.
Shall I go and have a look in? I'm going to go and have a look in your bags then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait, hang on 1 sec before you start looking around my bags. Hang on, I can make this a bit better. And then I'm going to pull out like a little bit of phosphorus from one of my pouches and just rub it on something I find, a stone or something, and the stone will illuminate with a slight glow, illuminating sort of around 10 foot around me.
Amazing. And like that 10 foot is just enough to fill the sort of little narrow end of a corridor that you find yourself in. There's a lot of broken rocks around you, and yeah, all three of you see quite clearly now, like sort of the piles of your stuff that, like your bags have just been turfed out, and like sort of clearly somebody's rummaged through them. A lot of it seems to be there, but it's quite cold where you are. Like the grey stone walls are really not inviting, and it is nowhere near where you were wandering through before. None of you recognise this as where you were knocked out.
I do not recognise this as where I was knocked out.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say exactly the same as you. I've got no idea where this is. What is this? Like a cave?
I think so.
What's above us? Guys, look up. Is there a hole? Did we fall down here?
No. It's
is anyone injured?
It's just the ceiling. Like it's probably about sort of 8-9 foot up. So fairly, sort of, it feels fairly claustrophobic, but essentially there's like one route out. It's like you've been dragged into a corner somewhere.
I don't know what happened to you two, but I was wandering through the woods and went out to help this lady, and now I'm ended up in here.
Yeah, were you looking for her wife's puppy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the
I
one.
was doing the same. He was doing the same.
Obviously lies. Damn it. Well, we're not going to figure this out by staying here. I'm going to walk ahead. You can
Right,
come
okay.
if you want.
Let's grab all our bits, shall we?
I follow behind, not fast.
I was going to say, are you grabbing your stuff from the floor first?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you start collecting it, you do realise quite quickly that there is stuff missing. All three of you, though,
I'm not a fan.
managed to find all of your gold. That's fine.
That's not saying much in my case.
Well,
Great. Yeah, little coin pouches, absolutely fine. You find those like sort of just thrown aside. Anything that looks like particularly fancy in your bags, or like that almost has like a sentimental value, that's all there. The only thing that you realise is missing is any food that you were carrying, any water that you had on you, and any like healing items, like a herbalism kit, any potions that you might have had. All of those are gone. But the rest of your stuff hasn't been touched.
I'm missing something quite peculiar, actually. My herbalism kit is gone, and
Actually, now you come to say that,
Yeah.
my healer's kit's gone as well.
no.
I didn't have anything of the sort, so everything I have is fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I mean, it's not my most valued possession, and I just would hope that she really needed it.
So your herbalist kit, is it edible?
No.
I mean, my healer's kit's not edible, I'll tell you that for a fact. It's got like bandages and stuff in.
Right.
Did
she appear injured when you saw this woman? Were you with her for very long?
I mean, I just followed her into this cave to help her look for a puppy. If I'm being honest, I thought
Gosh,
I didn't think I looked like the type of person who would be much cop finding a little puppy in a cave. But I guess that's what gnomes are good for, that kind of stuff, even when you're my age,
That's a good point. Juna, you have not described yourself yet.
Yeah,
I have not.
Can we hear what
What
Juna
is-
sounds like?
No. So
Yeah.
Juna is a tiny little 3-foot tall gnome lady.
Oh,
Ancient. She's at least 100 years old. Tiny,
Gosh.
shriveled, but like sprightly-ish stout, with a bit of a glint in her eye and a sort of a wry smile.
okay.
And she's sort of she's got quite loose, roby, a little bit shabby clothes on, and a quarterstaff with a sort of a large round amethyst. It's like a purple gem on the end of it. Yeah, she's not the neatest old lady, but she's
No.
she's sturdy enough.
I like her already.
Yeah, I think in Enkidu that you're right. I think we should get out of here,
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good idea. I guess my question is, where's this lady what did this? And
Why didn't she kill us if she had the opportunity to knock us out? Well, think about it. She had the chance to knock us out, all three of us, lure us into this place and not kill us. She took things that weren't of much value but left us alive. So
Do you think
is there
she's
something
still
worse?
around? Do you think she's in this cave network or something? Should we find her? Should we find her?
I mean,
I
I don't
think
know
we
if
should escape first.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about finding her. I mean, she's knocked us all out already. I mean, I guess it'd be nice to get our stuff back, though.
I'd rather escape first. Something tells me this woman is dangerous. I mean, she had the same excuse for all three of us. Who's to say that she hasn't done this to others in the past? Maybe we should just leave.
That's
with
true.
our
Can
lives.
I have a look around to see if there's like any evidence of other people having been here before?
Yeah, make an investigation check or a survival check, depending on what it is you're looking for.
I'm gonna sort of look around to see if there's other bits of stuff that none of us recognise, I guess, and kind of have an investigate, if I may.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, natural 19 plus 6, 25.
So,
Wow.
interestingly,
first roll.
not in the corner that you are. You sort of take a few like steps down the. I'm gonna say the corridor. We don't really get corridors in caves, do you? But like down the little road, down the passageway, down the path, and it is quite narrow this spot as well. So you sort of squeeze through one section and like sort of peer around, and there is another little alcove with somebody else lying there. However, in just sort of like edging round, you can tell very quickly that this person has been dead for quite a while.
Oh man. I think I found someone who's not in such a good state.
No.
Yeah. I'll go and search the body, see what he or she has on them.
Yeah. So again, it's almost like a very similar state to the way that you found yourselves. This person, it's like a half elf with sort of shaved sides of her head. She's got that withered look of a body that's been dead maybe a month, and around her person, like she had a backpack clearly that's again been strewn around, but there's no food, there's no water. You do find a short bow beside her with there's 5 arrows there, again very obvious, just laid out, and about a small coin purse that had 6 gold pieces in it.
Sure.
The only difference that you can sort of tell between this woman and another one is that clearly as she's been knocked out, there was a little bit of bleeding, so she might have bled out as she was unconscious.
Right.
And she's definitely dead.
Definitely dead.
Cool.
Right. Can I tell the cause of death?
Make a medicine check.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just 10.
10. Yeah, you assume you can't quite tell where, like, there's dried blood around her sort of head area where she's been lying there. You can't quite tell whether or not that's from a head wound, like a stab wound, like something, especially with the state that the body's in already. But clearly she bled out while she was unconscious, is what you can surmise.
Well, I think we were the lucky ones.
Are there any creatures in this cave? Like, even like insects and stuff?
Make a survival check.
12?
12. So you have a look around, and there actually aren't that many like small insecty things. Even with the dead bodies, you'd sort of expect to find some like maggots, flies, like that kind of thing. There's none of that near her. You do hear a very, very distant, like, it's like a strangled chicken noise as you like stop to listen and look around. Yeah, sort of really far off in the cave. But because of the way it's all echoing through little channels, you can't tell exactly where it's coming from.
Right.
I think maybe we go that way, boys.
What, towards that strangled chicken thing?
Yeah, I think that's the right idea.
Yes. I'd rather meet this thing head on rather than stay and wait for it to pick us off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to end up like this bloke.
No. I take the gold coins.
Yeah, amazing.
You taking that?
6 gold pieces.
That
I
nice-looking bow.
I give Enkidu a wink like that.
I chuck Juna. I don't chuck him. I give Juna 3 of them. So
I put them back in his hand, give him a little like chop on the cheek, and say, "You spend that wisely, young man. You spend that wisely."
Fine. I kind of tip my head to Orryn because I don't know his name. Says, "Hey, you there? Do you know how to use a bow and arrow? Can you fight?"
Yeah, I reckon I might be able to figure something out with that.
Well, maybe this will be of better use to you than our friend in the corner over here.
I take the crossbow off Enkidu and fire a shot at some, like, if there's anything around, like, quite specific. I sort of fire it in a, like, I can use one of these kind of manner.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Short bow
Make
or
an attack
crossbow?
roll with a short bow.
Oh, short bow.
What do I add anything?
So D20 plus your dexterity.
So I got 17.
17. And are you
Wow.
proficient with short bows?
Yeah.
There's another +2 then.
So that's 19.
So yeah, quite easily.
Oh no, sorry, not short bow, crossbow.
Ah, right. So it's
That's
just
not the
17.
same
Even with the 17.
It's a simple
Yeah.
weapon. I've just looked it up.
was gonna
So
say.
if you're proficient with simple weapons, you'll be all right.
Right.
But no.
So just to be clear, Juna has her own crossbow because the body had the short bow.
No, I don't have a crossbow. I'm proficient in crossbow.
Right.
No, she
But
took
the
the
idea
short
of me
bow.
taking it was like, don't you assume that I can't use a bow just because I'm a old lady?
Yeah, and she is like is this weird like sudden confidence that comes over her that she stands up a little bit, like she's only 3 foot, but she stands up that little bit taller. Like the posture is exactly correct for firing a short bow. Hits a sort of like a brick, like a sticking out piece of rock on the wall, and like knocks it clean off. And like almost straight away, like sort of goes back into old lady mode.
Then I give it back and like start just walking on my way.
Yeah,
Leaving them to it.
No.
And I'm
I have to
holding
say
it,
that's
like-
very impressive.
I know. And I'm standing there like, well, I assumed you were some sort of mage, but hey, it's there if anyone wants it. I already have one of these myself, so.
I'll pick it up and I'll carry it over to Juna. Just sort of say, look, you clearly know how to use this thing. Do you want to keep it?
I do the same. Chuchi on his cheek and go, "You keep it, son."
Oh my gosh.
Cool. Orryn, you've got a short bow and 5 arrows.
I don't know how I feel about her.
Wow.
Short bow and 5
Short bow
arrows.
and 5
Yeah?
arrows. Yeah, you go and pick up the one that the Juna
Yeah, I'll go and
fires.
grab that
Yeah.
arrow, assuming it's not broken.
It's not. It's, it was a really deft shot, so yeah, very impressive.
I'll just give it a little nod of acknowledgement again.
Flukishly better than it probably should have been. But the intended effect was had.
Juna's like,
Love it.
well, I wasn't expecting that. Like, okay, let me walk away before they ask me to do it again.
Yep.
So, you start making your way. Are you heading towards the noise, away from the noise?
Towards the
I
noise.
would like to go towards the noise. So
Towards
I
the
think
Yeah,
I
so
sort of,
would I.
I start walking off, but not so confidently that my mind couldn't be changed.
Mm-hmm. So there are quite a few different like forks and in the path that you're winding and weaving your way through. Every so often, you do come across another body, but like ultimately, like you keep hearing this like screechy noise until you come to a little like a 3-way fork, as it were. I say 3-way, 4-way. You're in like a little chamber with 3 other routes out of it, and like that strangled noise comes through again from the path directly opposite.
I go to walk down it again, like not so confidently that if someone said, "Hey," like I don't want to
Yeah.
go that way, I wouldn't have my mind changed, but I'm just sort of like plodding on.
Well, one sec. Before you, I mean, is there like? Can we have a quick look down these two? Like, is there any light or anything coming from either of these?
Make a survival check.
10.
10. So no, it's still quite dark where you are, and especially where you've been carrying that little stone with you. Sort of like, do you know when you've got a torch that you're like, when your eyes can't quite adjust to the darkness outside because of the light being too close to you?
Yeah.
You've sort of got that going on.
Yeah, it doesn't make much light, my little stone.
No.
It's just a little...
So like enough that you can see like the
I can't-
extra pathways and things, but not like that you
Yeah.
can see further down. But you do get a sort of a slight glimpse of some like not foliage, but some plant life down one of the other routes.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
mushrooms
mushroomy
or
type
like-
things. Like they just look grey, but like against the stonework, like they're quite instantly obvious as like a different texture.
Okay.
There's some like mushrooms or something over there.
So
We wanna-
there's sunlight coming in from that direction, right? Could be an exit.
I don't know if mushrooms always need sunlight.
No, but if there's other plant life around it,
Oh right, okay, yeah.
shrubbery and whatnot. Well, we can't see from here, can we?
I'm not. I
Can
don't know
can
about
I
you
see,
two, but
Can I see
very far.
down any
I
further?
can't see anything.
With,
You can,
dark-
because you can see 60 foot, can't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can see a little bit further in that, like the that route opens up a bit more, and it does look like there's a wider chamber further toward the mushrooms. But like your vision, even then, like the path like curves around, so your view is blocked almost by more stone. So you'd have to go down to see whether or not it's a way out. But you can see that it does open up a little bit. It seems to widen.
And what about the path with the sound coming from it? What does that look like?
That again, that sort of weaves a little bit, and it is almost straight ahead, but like it weaves one way and then back again, so you get like a slight glimpse. Make a perception check for that one.
Oh, Jesus. Natural
Yes.
one.
Natural one.
Yeah.
Wait, a
First
small
natural
roll.
one.
No, you don't. Like just as you turn to hear it, you just hear that like even louder, like even closer. So you're like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Okay, guys, so
Okay.
which way? Do we follow the sound or do we head towards where there's some semblance of life?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we're going to go towards the sound, can I suggest that we just try and move a little bit, subtly?
Okay, then how about this? We have a formation. Obviously, our halfling friend can see in the dark, or the two of us cannot.
I mean, I think she's a gnome, mate.
I'm not a halfling. I'm a gnome.
Apologies, I've not met many
Halflings
gnomes.
halflings would love to have seen the things I've seen and be the age I am, darling, but I'm a gnome.
Okay.
It's the ears. I'll just mutter quietly to Enkidu.
And I just kind of turn and just like, I got it. Thank you.
I did not hear that.
I say, well, would you mind leading the way?
Yes.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. You follow me, my love.
Right.
I kind of feel like I should know your names before we go any further through
I'm
whatever
Juna,
we're doing.
my love. I'm Juna. Juna Septhorn.
Juna.
Yes.
Juna Septhorn, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
What's your
My name-
name, my darling?
I'm Orryn Quill.
Orryn.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Enkidu.
Enkidu. All right, okay, there we go. For some reason, that makes me feel a bit better about whatever's about to go down.
Where are you two young lads from, may I ask? Where have you come from?
I'm from down south, from south of here.
Yeah.
Southern lad.
Yeah. How about you? You
Very good question. It'll come to me.
That's all right. Don't stress about it. It's all right.
I've been working
I don't have a
up
map.
at one of the houses up in. It'll come to me. Tell me.
I didn't realise I'd asked such a hard question. I thought that was an easy one.
I've been working up in Croydon, my lovely.
In where?
Croydon.
I don't know.
What? I thought you said Croydon. I was like, what?
I've been in Croydon. I tell you what.
It's a little hamlet just outside.
If she was
things I've
living
seen
in
in
Croydon, I
Oh my
would be
gosh.
on point. I'd be able to tell you where she went clubbing in the mid-noughties and everything.
I would feel so at home if she was from Croydon.
Yeah, so would I actually. I'll be like, wow.
She'd sound a bit different,
This
though.
is something I know.
She'd have a bit of a different attitude to life if she was from Croydon.
Oh my gosh.
Enkidu, yeah, you'd probably know about Pride, and it's sort of on the edge of the Iron Chain of mountains.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
Okay.
whether or not you've been there, that's up to you. But it's you're aware of it on the map at least. Orryn,
okay.
I'm not so sure whether or not you would know it.
Probably not got a clue.
Probably not got a clue.
Nope.
Sounds very nice. Sounds like Pride.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Pride Den.
What about you, Enkidu? Where have you been? Where did you get caught up in this from, my lovely?
I'm from far to the south,
Or to the south?
I guess. Yeah.
Ooh. Two southern lads.
Which direction are you heading? Toward the mushrooms? Toward the strangled noises? the other direction?
I think we should follow this strangled noise. What do you boys think?
It's fun.
Yeah,
first. Quite curious.
I'm happy to follow it. As I say, I think we should just be a bit quiet, like while we go down that way. Try not to make too much noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. In which case, do you want to make a stealth check? Do you want to move stealthily?
I would love to move stealthily.
Oh my gosh!
All right, everyone. If you could all make a stealth check, then please.
And this is my proficiency.
Okay.
D20 plus stealth.
7.
16.
Oh, 7. Wow, Juna.
Yeah, I had a +6, but I only +5, but I only got a 2. It was really.
It's my proficiency, and it's my. Fuck, it's still got an 8.
8. Oh my god.
Is stealth really good for you too? And you rolled terribly.
It is. It's one of my chosen skills. I'm.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a stealth party, and
Level
Yeah.
one.
clump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so Orryn, like you start going like super stealth, like you're like hugging the walls almost. You turn off your little. Do you turn off your little light, or at least like you?
I will.
Can you, like,
if it's completely pitch black, I won't be able to. So I'll
Reduce it a
need
bit.
to keep it on me. But I'll just need to. I'll just sort of cover it in a bit of.
And it's in covering it that then Enkidu, he can't really see what he's doing, so he starts tripping over all of the rocks in the way, like banging and clattering as he goes. And Juna just decides to try and help him rather than stay like stealthy. So Orryn is almost like, sneaking ahead, and the other two are just fumbling about behind you. However, as you...
Are you all right, young man? Are you okay?
It's just dark.
You're all right.
I'm fine. Let's just keep moving. He's clearly embarrassed by it.
As you sort of edge down this little pathway, though, you round your like sort of wind and round a corner, and even with that little bit of light, Orryn, like sort of you can see that it opens up into an enclosed room. And Juna, you catch more of a glimpse of it than the others do, but there are 3 or 4 people stood there, all like separated out around the room. Not moving.
So that's not where the noise is coming from.
Well, and then as you're sort of like stood there in the entryway of this little chamber, you do hear like a horrible noise just coming from the other side of it.
Can I see anything or just hear it?
Make a perception check.
10?
10? Yeah, I'll give you that. Like, just through the glimpse of, as you're looking at these, like, unmoving people. And it's quite hard to tell with any real light, because with dark vision, you're really only seeing, like, grayscale. So everything looks grey, and all of these all of these people look
like statues.
Are they statues? They look like stone. But like through the legs of one of them, you do catch a slight glimpse of. It looks sort of chickeny. It looks a little bit like a lizard. It's like a really shriveled chicken that someone's plucked all the feathers out of it. And it's like got little tufts of plumage on its head, but its little eyes are like darting about, and it does catch sight of all of you. It's not really moving; it's just making like noises. However, with like as you sort of look at it even more, you see that it's sort of stood in a little circle of rocks. It's like a little nest just where it is.
Does it look like it can't get out, or it could get out?
Looks like it could get out. Looks quite defensive.
Can I? I was going to do something way more sensible and useful. But can I just sort of across the cave? I have speak with small beasts. So could I like talk chicken lizard to it and see if it replies without any warning to Enkidu or Orryn, please?
You can certainly try. That's the phrase. What do you say to it?
I would like to say to it, we're friends. We want to know what's going on. Can we approach you? But it comes out as
Once again, Enkidu whips out his blade and goes, "What the bloody hell is that?"
Orryn just sort of shakes his head and goes, "So much for stealth." Under his
Yeah.
So surprised, like, what?
As you do, this little chickadee thing just starts running over to you, and beak out, claws, flapping its tiny little disgusting scaly wings, and it just launches at you. Can you roll initiative, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
dear.
that's
Guys, there's a chance we might still be friends with the chicken.
Chicken,
I mean, the
chicken.
thing about a cockatrice is that it's not a beast, so it didn't really understand what was happening.
Cool. So it didn't even understand
Didn't
me.
understand. It was just like,
Okay.
oh, someone's attacking me.
Brilliant.
I got a natural 20!
Hey,
So did I.
well done, well
Thank
done.
you.
I've got one as
Oh
well.
my god!
Oh, amazing. Who's got higher dexterity out of the two of you?
Juna, I think.
I got +3.
Oh, so cool. Juna then
Yeah.
goes first, then Enkidu. What did you get, Orryn?
I rolled a 6.
6. Okay, I thought I was doing better than 8, but nice. In which case, Juna, this little
my God.
lizardy, chickeny thing is running at you. It's like it starts flapping into your face. What are you doing? It's still probably about 15 feet off from you.
How big and dangerous does it look? Because that will really affect.
Oh, it's quite small. It's probably the size of a small dog.
Okay.
Like
It's not
bits-
super, super scary and dangerous.
No, like bigger than a chicken, but smaller than a dog. Smaller than a
Okay,
lamb.
in that case,
Cat
Cat
size.
size. Cat size.
cat side.
Trying to think of an animal that's
Me
between
too.
a
I
chicken
was
and a
like,
dog.
Goat. Yeah, that's the
How
scale,
far
isn't
away
it? Dog,
from? How
cockatoo,
far away is
cockatoo.
it? Did you say?
Probably about 15 feet.
I think it's a bit bold for Juna, but I think she's in the dark, so it's okay. She's going to do chill touch.
Chill touch, amazing.
So so I think to describe what's happening, I think she holds out her hand, and then a chill touch hand kind of comes out of her hand, and just sort of the aim is that the chill touch hand is gonna grab hold of the chicken cockatrice round the neck, and give it a good seeing to.
Amazing. Do I have to roll for that, or do you roll for that?
On a hit, it takes damage, so no, I have to attack you with it.
Cool.
In that case, 23.
23 definitely hits. Yeah. What does it do?
It's a 1d8 necrotic damage. And it can't regain hit points until the start of its next turn. It's not undead, is it? I'm assuming.
No. I mean, it looks like it should be, but it's just disgusting.
And I don't add anything to my spell, with weapons and stuff.
No.
Great. Then 8 damage.
8 damage, amazing.
8 damage and a bit of sass.
And then with chill touch, so
Nice.
it can't regain hit points.
Until its next turn.
Cool, amazing. Enkidu, are you moving anywhere, Juna? Are you going to step back? Are you going to?
Can I step back with my arms out, to be sort of lean back with the boys?
Yeah, like soccer mum, protective.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Enkidu, you're up.
Can I see the thing?
Yeah, with Orryn's little light stone.
All right.
I can imagine, as as Juna's made this horrible noise, that he's just pulled it out that little bit more to be what is happening?
Yeah. I'll take the little cover off it and be like, "Wah!"
Yeah. So yeah, you just see this chickadee thing coming out of the darkness at the three of you, and yeah, then Juna this little skeletal hand launching out of her own and is grabbing this thing by the neck.
God.
It's all very strange.
Okay. I kind of shake my head, kind of get myself into battle mode. I point my scimitar at it and I run my fingers along its hedge and cast Hexblade's Curse on it
Ooh, nice.
as my bonus. As my action, I'm gonna let you guys guess. Eldritch Blast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a warlock in the party.
I'm gonna catch Eldritch Blast. Oh, that is a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, very nice. Yep, that hits.
So that's a 1d12.
Ooh.
can't believe
Big
how
boys.
cheap this ability is. I know. Seeing a few things.
Sadra 1 or 12.
That is a 1.
Hey.
That is a 1. That's horrendous. So yeah, I shoot this puny, like, little shock of energy, eldritch energy to this thing, and I kind of like give a little cough as it leaves my hand. It's like out of practice.
What color does your magic like manifest as?
I was thinking like a pale green.
Pale green. Oh, cool. So like,
Yeah.
because obviously the two humans in the party
Good
haven't
shame.
quite seen the full extent of like all of these like people in the room. You do with this like
Yeah.
greenish light suddenly see these 4 sort of still stone people, sort of lit up. But yeah, like you blast, it hits the cockatrice, but it doesn't slow it down just yet. It carries on flying towards you, and Juna, as you're the one that's sort of, for all it knows, you're the one that's threatening it. You've shouted weird things toward it, you've grabbed it by the neck, so it's just going to run at you, sort of flapping its little wings, right up into your face, and like claws out, and it rolls a 16 to hit you. Does that hit you?
Does hit.
Cool.
Does hit.
In which case, like, as it's like flying at you, its beak just like clamps down onto your shoulder. Can you make first of all, you take 3 piercing damage, and then can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Constitution saving throw. 17.
Oh yeah, you're fine. So you feel like its little claws like sort of scratching at your chest, and like its beak like pecking away at you. And you get the very real sense that there is something that you've avoided, like magically, like especially with your like innate like sense for these things. You're like, oh, this is a little bit more than just a little chicken. Orryn, it's your turn.
Right, okay. So there's a little chicken. Is it like right in front of me? How
It's basically
attacking.
flapping up in Juna's face.
Okay. Am I like directly in contact with it, or am I? A little
Yeah,
bit,
I'd say
like,
the 3 of you are within 5 feet of each other. So yeah, it's within 5 feet of you.
In that case, I think if it's within 5 feet of me, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna pull the hammer that he's got hanging off his belt.
What?
It's just like a little hammer. It doesn't look much.
Okay.
And he's just gonna try and hit the chicken with a hammer.
Cool.
I love that
18.
so much.
18. Yeah, that hits.
It's gonna do a whole 1d4 plus 2 damage. I rolled a 1. 3 damage with his little hammer. As he just like, what's going on?
Amazing. So yeah, like
You two are probably getting the impression that this is not a man who has sort of seen a lot of like combat.
so yeah, like you try and like you drop your stone for a moment, so like at least you've got like both hands on your hammer, and as you like sort of swing it, really hoping that you're not going to hit Juna, you just like crack into the back of this cockatrice, which like flutters onto the floor and turns its attention toward you. Juna.
Okay,
it's
okay,
now
no, that's
your
bad.
turn.
I think I am going to. Oh, it's a bit of a magic cockatrice, is it now? I think I'm going to chill touch again. I feel like she's got the chill touch on the go.
Mm-hmm.
So, 18 to hit.
Yeah. Have you stepped back first because you're within 5 feet of it? So it being a ranged spell attack, it would be a disadvantage unless you move away.
No. In that case, I'm going to do what I was going to do, but I couldn't do because I wasn't near it. And I'm going to Word of Radiance it, and I'm going to just look it in the eye and say, "Chicken!"
Cool. What does it do?
What is that?
I feel like I take a point of damage.
So it's alright. It's creatures of my choice, and you have to do a saving throw, Constitution saving throw, please.
Constitution. I rolled a 9 altogether.
No, that you did not succeed. You take 1d6 radiant damage. Take 1 point of damage.
Guys, we are rolling so well for the damage.
Oh my god.
Is that the third one we've rolled for?
I think so, yeah.
My first damage was 8 out of 8, so it
Yeah,
had to
okay.
even up.
Oh, well done.
You've taken all the good rolls.
Every
and
roll I've
Orryn.
done has been amazing or terrible. Every single roll.
Gosh.
Amazing. Are you going to move away at all, or are you just going to stay sort of...
I am gonna... If I move away, I'm disengaging though, aren't I?
Yeah,
It might get an attack on you.
against you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay there.
Cool. In which
And
case,
listen to the
Enkidu
reverberations of the word chicken.
echo around
out.
between all of these. Like,
Echo around. Radiant chicken.
Love it.
Oh my god.
Enkidu, it's your turn.
Seeing that my previous attack was like puny and it didn't hit it, I'm gonna try and style it out by trying to run around to its side, but still keeping the distance, trying to flank it,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. And I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it again.
Amazing. Are you going to stay... So again, with Eldritch Blast, it's a ranged thing, so you're going to have to step away from it to...
Oh right.
Oh,
is that
actually,
the
but then if
space
you're
there?
flanking, it's with advantage, isn't it? So it would just be a straight roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ignore me. Continue.
Okay. So straight roll. So it's a 14.
14 hits. Yeah.
Oh wow. That is 9 points this time.
9 points. That's much better.
Oh my gosh.
This thing is not happy, and again, it's like it's like this green blast like surrounds it, and it's like little eyes turn up and look at you, like they're like angry, but they're sort of worried and scared, and there's like a weird glassy reflection on them as you blast green eldritch energy into its face.
Cool. He breathes a sigh of release and just kind of flourishes with his sword to make it stronger than he actually feels. Like, oh gosh. Okay, here we go.
So as you were the last person to attack it, it's gonna go for you, Enkidu, and it rolls a dirty 20 altogether.
Well, that hits.
Yeah, it's very bad. But it only does 3 points of damage. So it's 3 points of piercing damage as it like runs at you and just starts like pecking at your like as you're like waving this sword around in its face, it, like dodges under, like just like gets at your foot, like right into your ankle. And can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
That's an 8.
An 8. So like this thing, it must have just gotten you like right through the shoes wrong. As like you take this 3 points of piercing damage, and then you just feel your whole leg seize up.
Right. Damn it.
And it you really can't move your leg, like your foot at all. And that feeling starts edging its way up your leg to your knee, which suddenly then becomes locked.
Oh no.
Can we see this happen, or is that just him feeling
Yeah,
it?
no, in the light, everyone looking down can just see like his just trousers and his leg just slowly turning to stone on the bottom.
Okay, this is really not good.
Yeah, so technically you are restrained, which means that your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage. And you've also got disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Wow. Okay.
You're not fully stoned just yet, though.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's launched itself, and it's just like clamped onto his foot. Orryn, it's your turn. It's probably moved 5 feet away from you now, Orryn. As Enkidu sort
Okay,
of
so it's
moved
not in
around.
direct combat with me.
No.
Okay, in which case, Orryn's going to reach into he's going to feel around on his body, and he's going to pull out what looks like a little like welding torch from his from one of his little pouches on his person, and just to like quickly adjust his welding torch with his tinker's tools in his other hand. And then he's gonna fire it towards the chicken. This is a firebolt. Technically.
Amazing.
What?
Cool, make your attack.
Oh, terrible! 11.
11 hits.
Oh my god.
Just
Great.
yeah.
Okay, I did not
Amazing.
think that was gonna hit. It's 1d10 fire damage. That's gonna be 4.
4 fire damage. It looks pretty crispy, I'll be honest. Oh no, I only added 2 there. Yeah, no, it's looking actually really rough from the way that like all of this magical energy has blasted it. And as you like, you get your welding torch out, first of all, again, like the entire room is lit up with this like beautiful like amber firelight, and like this little chicken almost catches on this little chicken. Cockatrice, it's horrible. It almost catches on fire to the point that it is like panicking, like its little wings are just like smoking away as you're like
welding it, welding it into place. I don't like this thing. Can I just back up sort of 5 foot from it further as well?
Absolutely.
Just being like, well, okay.
And Juna, it's now your turn.
I'm gonna do another word of radiance. This time, I'm gonna look it in the eye and say, cockatrice!
Cool. Do I make a saving throw?
It is a saving throw, yes.
Saving throw. Constitution?
It is, yes, sorry, Constitution.
Constitution, that's a 13. Nope. Do your damage.
Oh, gosh.
5.
So, this poor little cockatrice, as you shout its like true form, it just looks at you, and its little head just starts shaking as with the reverberation of this word, and it almost like the little radiant energy starts like, especially from where Orryn just set it on fire, like just starts spiraling along its body, and then its little head just explodes.
Whoa! Oh gosh!
Yep. Its little body just collapses at Enkidu's feet. Enkidu, though, can you make another saving throw, please?
What's that?
This is a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. That's an 18.
18. So you are like, you're panicking, but you just have a moment. You're like, nope. And just like through sheer will, you're just watching this like stone petrification edge up your leg, and you just as you like push it back with your mind, it just starts easing its way back down again, and like then as it gets past your knee, it starts like fading in patches until you can lift your leg, give it a good shake, and you're fine.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Ooh.
Thank God.
You feeling all right there, Enkidu?
Yeah. That was, gotta say, that did shit me up a bit. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, me too, Enkidu. That was not a nice creature.
No, it wasn't.
It was not a nice creature at all.
What
Though,
did you
can
call
I ask though, what was, before it came over, you said, screeched something? What was that? What
You don't need to worry about that. It was not very helpful, and I'm very sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry for, I'm sure. Well, is anyone hurt?
I mean, I'm fine. I seem to have got away without a scratch there.
My shoulder's a bit bust up here, but I'll be all right. It'll be okay.
Do you want me to look at that for you?
No, I'm all right.
All right.
I mean, yeah. If
I think she then goes.
Okay.
And I kind of look at Orryn and like raise an eyebrow, like,
yeah.
What's the deal?
I can go and deal with that sitch.
I kind of awkwardly go over, like tentatively, like I have no idea what she's going to pull, and I kind of just put my hands on her shoulder and I said, "Okay, you need to tell me exactly what's wrong with your shoulder before I do anything."
She sort of looks over her shoulder, like, "Ooh, oh man." I got bit on my shoulder. I got bit.
You got bit. All right, I'll have a look as best I can. Orryn, can you bring some light over?
Yeah, of course. Tell you what, I'll go and find another stone, rub a little bit of phosphorus on it, and I'll just pass it over to Enkidu. So you've got your own.
Okay, cool. I kind of just look at the wound. Like, what do I DM? Like, is it? How bad is it? Like,
it's not terrible. I think it was only 3 points of damage. So there's just a lot of like fairly deep scratches, but like they're not like pouring with blood. They've just got like it's more like surface level. At the same time, of course, she is an old woman, so even surface level things, you're a bit like, oh, like is this going to be the thing that kills her?
Oh no.
Yeah, like like she seems to be shrugging it off as much as she can. Like as you touch it, there is a little bit of wincing. Like it is still quite sore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just a little bit of like a puncture mark either side of her, and then some scratches down her chest.
My friend, I think you'll be okay. I mean, there is some blood. It's not deep. Once we get out of here, we'll be able to find whatever herbs and leaves and treat that properly. But all the useful stuff we could use to treat that is taken. So
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
Well, thank you.
I can't do much.
Thank you very
Taken
much for your
everything.
concern. Thank you. It's very kind
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, sure.
Orryn's gonna reach around into his little bag and find a little sort of metal canister, and he's just gonna take the lid off, and just sort of bring it over towards Juna, and just sort of place the canister on the wounds, and he watches kind of like a couple of little bees crawl out from the canister, but they're sort of mechanical rather than live bees.
So cool.
Oh.
And they're gonna go to work, and they're gonna attempt to stitch it up. My little cure wounds bees,
Nice.
which is going to give you 10 points of healing back.
Bloody hell.
Think I'm gonna be okay?
There you go. And I'll just shoo them back into the little canister and pop the lid back on
That
them.
is awesome.
It was very
Yeah.
cool.
And
That
Enkidu
is
kind of
very
just narrows his eyes and just like watches and is like, huh. And he kind of just like makes a mental note, like, right, he's handy with items. Okay.
And I think Juna turns to Enkidu and she says, "Well, and what about your leg? Is your leg all right?"
Nothing I haven't had before. I'll be okay. Right.
And he's
Shall we?
perfectly healed, right? Yeah.
Well, no,
Me?
he took 3
Yeah.
points of
No.
damage, but he's not. It's not stone
Oh, wait.
petrified at all.
Oh no, hang on. I don't recover hit points from a cursed monster if I didn't kill it, do I? If the cursed target dies, I regain hit points equal to my warlock level plus charisma modifier. So that's 4 points of healing. I'm back up to 4.
Yeah. In which case,
Yeah.
you look down and like it's almost as if he hadn't been bitten at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
very
kind of
nice.
like, I really need to get used to that. Yeah.
So looking around the space, as you sort of edge your way in, yeah, it's very obvious that the 4 sort of humanoid beings are statues of people, and you can figure out very, very easily that clearly this cockatrice had bitten them, and the same thing that was happening to Enkidu, unfortunately, went fully on all of those. Some of them, as you sort of look around, they've been pecked at a little bit. So like they're missing their hands, they're missing like little bits of like their knee, part of their stomach, where this little chicken, you can imagine, was probably eating them as rocks.
Oh, as rocks. So like the rocks have crumbled.
Yeah, so like turn them into stone
they're
and then was using it as food.
Oh my gosh, they're dead.
If anyone wants to sort of do a deeper exploration of the little chamber, though, make an investigation check.
I wouldn't mind having a look around.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh, 24.
Wow.
7 minus 1, 6.
So yeah, Enkidu, you get a
I'm not
little
even
bit.
going to bother.
Yeah, Enkidu, you get a little bit more distracted with like looking at one of the statues who does look quite similar to yourself. So you're like, oh, this could have been me. Like,
Good.
but Orryn, as you sort of move further to the other end of the chamber, where the cockatrice had started in that little circle of rocks, you see that there are a few sort of mottled eggs sort of nestled in amongst the rocks themselves. They look quite jagged, which almost disguises them, but with that investigation check, like you can tell quite easily that those are not rocks in the same way.
We've all seen aliens, right? We all know what that means.
Yeah.
Again, they're probably just a little bit bigger than chicken eggs.
So this thing looks like it's laid some eggs. So I'm trying to decide whether we should take them or just stand on them. Any votes?
Right, I cast Mage Hand on the eggs, and I chuck it straight in the air.
Amazing.
Just wait and just step back.
So yeah,
and wait
you
for it
grab
to
one of
squat.
them.
Not one for democracy, then.
Your mage hand, Enkidu, what does that look like?
Oh wow, it's a good question.
Describe a hand, right?
And describe the hand. I'm like, oh gosh. Instantly, I'm thinking of Mickey Mouse's hand, glove hand, which is ridiculous. But it's scaled. It's scaled. Yeah, and it's got long fingernails, and the scales are like a metallic blue, red, and the colours like change the further up from the fingers up to the hand as it goes. So it's kind of like a grey at the fingertips, and it's blue, then it's red, and it's orange, and then around the wrist, because I guess that's where its end is purple, and it's kind of frilled.
Nice. Cool. So this thing sort of appears above especially Orryn, as you're looking at the eggs, like this multicoloured hand just appears above them, grabs one, just chucks one in the air. And Enkidu, like obviously as you've like chosen to do this, you watch as the egg just shatters on the floor, and there is a very small chick inside of it, dead from the impact. But like all of that like ooze and gunk and the yolk from the egg just completely shattered.
Good. I was worried that the eggs would be tougher than that. So, how many more left?
Have a look in the nest.
There's just two more.
There's two more.
I mean, do we want to take one just in case? I don't know.
What on earth would you do with it?
Well, like, find out about it.
I'm kind of down with that.
You're gonna take it?
I don't know. It might be a stupid idea. I'm willing to be argued out of it. I'm going to be honest. It might be a bad plan, but I'm kind of curious.
Do you know what, young man? I tend to agree with you. And then I think I'd smash one and say, maybe just one though.
I think that's a good idea. I think two's too many to handle. Okay, can I go and pick one up carefully?
Yeah. Orryn, you're now the proud owner of a cockatrice egg.
I'm going to find a little pouch somewhere and just carefully stow it away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
But
I have taken an egg on a Baby David D&D campaign before, and once it ended terribly and once it ended good. So.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to note to self, going to check status of egg. Regular.
Yeah.
So there's nothing else in this room apart from these four statues. Four unfortunate trespassers, or whether or not they like fall into the same ploy that you all did. It's hard to say. They clearly look like travelers.
Anyone that any of us recognise? Like,
no,
just randomers.
Just randomers. Yeah, you like from the way a couple of them are standing, almost reaching out to each other. You think that they might have known each other, or at least have been traveling like you three are, like through these caves together. Ultimately, they're just poor dead stone travelers. And there's nothing else in there.
Maybe it's time to go down the mushroom corridor, isn't it?
I think so. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Grace here again. You may remember me from the very top of the episode, before we started getting into all the good stuff. You'll meet me as a player next time, but for now, this is the part of the show where I say a quick hey and share any updates on what's going on with us. I hope you're enjoying listening to this episode of No Small Roles as much as I am. I can tell you now that I am absolutely obsessed with Orryn's mechanical bees, and if you are equally as buzzed, or if you just want to send some more bad puns our way, then you can get in touch with us via social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram as @NoSmallRoles, and on Facebook, simply search No Small Roles to find our page. We spell rolls ROLLS, as in rolling a dice. We'd love for you to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. And if you feel like leaving us a positive review and or rating on iTunes, we would really, really appreciate it. That's all from me for now. Time to get you back to that cave.
Yeah, so you head on out, having gained a cockatrice egg. And you get back to the sort of four-way chamber, move along the wall a little bit toward the mushroom corridor, and as you sort of head down that way, the vibrance of the mushrooms, especially with your little stone light, begins to pick up some colour.
Right.
Like they're not just little grey mushrooms. Some of them like sort of little browny type of a thing. Some of them start almost having little violet little flowers on top, which is quite nice.
Okay.
And sort of like they're all still quite small. There's hardly anything in the actual path of it either. You're not like treading on loads of them. All up the walls.
Can I check if they're magic mushrooms? Oh, sorry, I totally interrupted you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, go for it. Make a nature check for magic mushrooms.
6.
6. I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't think
mushrooms
I'll be
aren't
finding
your
out
line.
much.
Yeah. Like they don't seem to be moving
Not my bag.
or anything like that. They're not particularly glowing, or they're just sort of violet, purpley mushrooms. As you sort of come round quite a wide bend, again the space opens out into another chamber. This one is almost completely filled with the mushrooms as well. Yeah, like almost right the way across the floor. And interestingly, you can almost see in the flooring where somebody might have walked previously. There are some like crushed mushrooms.
And there's nothing. Where do those footsteps
Just
go?
into the middle of the mushroom patch.
Right. Okay. There's footsteps heading into the middle, and they're not coming back out again, or
Make a survival check. It's quite hard to say.
6.
6. No, there is like it's quite possible that they've walked in, turned around, and walked back again. You can just see like where some mushrooms have sort of grown up much shorter than the others. So there are some bigger ones, and they're like little pathways of smaller mushrooms.
Do they look like they could be footsteps by the woman, the copperhead woman?
They look about human sized. Yeah, like she wasn't particularly sort of big human. She was maybe like 5'4", 5'5". So yeah, it's quite possible that it looks human sized path, or humanoid sized path at least.
My friends, I think these are the only clues we have to go on in this room. So, should we
follow the footsteps to the middle and see
I think we should.
if
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Okay.
That's my
okay,
quarter
you'll leave-
staff. Walking.
So you start heading along the sort of the little where you assume somebody has sort of walked before. Who's leading the way?
I think Juna's.
Juna.
It turns out Juna's quite walkie-offy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the two of us
So
following
Juna, as
behind,
you're
being
sort
like,
of walking along, especially with your stick, like sort of like maybe swinging it a little bit as you go, you do reach like a little lump on the ground, like with the mushroom sort of rise up a bit.
Yeah.
You give it a little poke, sort of scrape some of the mushrooms away with your stick, and there is like a foot, like the bottom of someone's shoe.
Okay. Huh.
Can I poke to see if the shoe is attached? Like it is attached to a foot. It's not just a shoe.
It is attached to a foot,
do we
and
not
as
know?
you sort of like poke a bit more, it's also attached to a leg. Or maybe the remains of a leg.
Can I keep batting mushrooms to see where it goes?
Yeah, and as you sort of, as far as you can reach, you can sort of like outline a body lying in amongst all the mushrooms in front of you.
looking
Do
dead, I'm assuming?
Very dead.
yeah.
Looking
What
very
do they-
dead.
Mushrooms
There's
growing out of the
mushrooms
body.
growing all over it.
Like sort of decomposed.
Yeah.
Can we tell what kind of body it is, or is it just a mushroom-infested body?
It's really quite hard. Humanoid. You can sort of, as you poke, you can like sort of outline like a bent arm, like another one outstretched. Yeah, it's quite heavily decomposed, this one.
I think that we maybe should leave this place.
Yeah, this feels
is-
like a really bad place to be.
What we were trying to do in the first place.
Yeah.
Make a
Obviously-
very quick investigation check, Juna, as you're like poking this body.
13?
13, yeah. So as you're sort of like, you poke down one of the sides, your little stick does actually hook into like a little side satchel that this poor person has on, and like you lift that up fairly easily, and that's actually not that decomposed, the bag.
I pick up the bag, I think.
Yeah.
Can I like hook it around my stick
yeah.
and be like, oh, boys, Look.
Yeah, I'd be really careful about touching anything with your hands. Is just what I'm thinking here.
Shall we leave it? Or shall
No,
we
I mean, I
look
think
in
we
it?
should have a look.
You can open it right over there.
Can she try to, sort of put it on the floor and, poke it with her stick? And like, when you, put a stick on something and then, try and, move the stick that way and try and, prise it open with the stick.
Yeah. So inside this tiny pouch, really, you pull out again a little coin purse. Sort of you nudge that along, and you're like, sort of as you poke it a little bit, it jangles. So you're like, I think that's definitely coins. And then the only other thing of interest in the bag is a sealed letter. It looks fair. It's just like a folded piece of paper with a little wax seal on one side. A little bit degraded because of the mushrooms, and because of the general decomposition of the body.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it seems intact. The wax seal hasn't broken.
Oh my God. I want to open that letter so much.
On one side of the letter, it's addressed to Dr. Ardesin Hograd of Tillisham.
Please, may you say that one more time, DM?
Yeah, it's addressed to Dr. Ardesin Hograd of Tillisham.
Hograd, not Hograth. No.
What? Hang on. Ardesin
Hograd.
Hograd.
Dr. Ardesin Hograd of Tillisham.
Have any of us ever heard of Ardeshad?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't. None of you have been to Tillisham yet, so
No.
I can't imagine I've ever heard of this person.
No way.
Oh, right. Okay. A letter. Should we?
No. You go
I was
first, young
just
man.
going to say, is it going to be safer if we do this without touching it? If you know what I mean.
I cast Mage Hand again, and then kind of pick it up so it's a good 10 feet away from us. I kind of just the weird thing where you do it's only one hand, so I kind of just finger
Do you want a hand with
crossing over and just well ha you have jokes, right? And he kind of just tries to open it with the one
I
hand.
think Juna loses her shit a bit over that joke. She sort of has to balance herself on her stick to sort of regain composure after the joke.
Yeah, and Ginnu's trying not to show that joke really pissed him off. He's like, I've got it.
So there's a little bit of fumbling in the air with this thing, but as you're trying to get used to using your mage hand dexterously. But eventually, you get it open, and maybe with a little bit of Juna's help of holding one edge of it whilst the hand opens the rest. The hand then picks it up for all of you to read, and it just says, "Dear Ardesin, I hope this letter finds you well, though I fear its contents may not lighten your heart. I regret to inform you of the death of your brother, Kiris, as a result of injuries after falling from his horse. A service will be held for him this coming shroud, should you wish to attend. I know you are not on the best of terms, but you will always be welcome. I hope you can join us. Yours, Merida."
Damn. Well, I was heading in this direction loosely before I came to this cave. So maybe this is saying too much too soon, but I'd like to find. I think I'd like to go find Merida once I get out of this cave. I mean, she'd want to know what happens to Ardesin once he doesn't show up for his own brother's funeral.
Maybe he already didn't.
Yeah, we don't know how long he's been here. Do we know this coming shroud? Do we know what is that a date?
One of the four gods is the Shrouded Lady, and she's the one in charge of life and death and blah, blah, blah. So every week, one of the days of the week is sort of colloquially known as the Shroud, and that's the day that most funeral services are held.
So it's kind of like saying the funeral's on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So we've got no idea which shroud.
Well, we should know.
Which
It's a calendar. It's a calendar date.
Was there a date in the letter, or did it just say this?
There's
coming
no date. It just says
is...
this coming shroud, but a shroud happens every week.
Yeah.
So he could have been lying here for years, or he could have been lying here for days. We might not be too late.
Can we tell from his level of decomposition, any of us, how long he's been there?
Make a medicine check for that.
All of us.
Just Juna.
Oh, good.
Or maybe
that was
Juna.
a natural one.
I'll give Juna advantage if you're all having a very quick look, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you gave us advantage because my second roll was a natural 20.
Yay!
Natural 20 from a natural 1 to a natural 20.
Vicky, can I? Sorry, DM. Can I just say that I love that any one of us can roll the dice off camera. And then Vicky, I don't. Vicky, you're an honest, wonderful person.
Sure it's
and I
yours.
don't doubt for a second it was a 20. But the fact that you pick it up and show the camera his number. Is
Also, I know
what
that
I
I
love
could
is
have
this-
rolled
it's a
an 8 and
podcast.
just like changed it round to a 20. I don't know.
But I completely trust your honesty. But I'm just pointing it out. It's hilarious.
So,
Sorry, David.
No, that's all right. Looking at the body, it actually looks in quite an advanced state of decomposition. It's not necessarily like bones yet, but as you're sort of poking it, where the mushrooms especially have embedded themselves into the flesh of this poor person. It really has like almost they've drained a lot of the nutrients out. Which especially as you're
He's been dead a while.
it's hard to say.
Okay.
What's everyone's passive perception like?
12.
13.
11.
What was yours, Orryn?
12.
12. Okay. None of you noticed then. Orryn, as the other two are just sort of examining the body a little bit, as you're sort of stood there, like holding the light for them, you just feel a really, it's like a little stinging, like it's like something's latched onto your ankle. And you take a sudden 6 points of damage. It's like you just feel something like sink in, and then like it just like sucks into your foot, and like it's really like painful. It's crippling, and like your knee almost buckles as it goes.
Ow.
Hey.
Okay, ow. Something's got my foot.
What's there?
Can we see
don't know.
anything on his foot?
As you look down, one of the little violet funguses that you're stood by, there's a few tendrils that have like eked out of it and have just slowly wrapped themselves around Orryn's foot.
Oh.
Am I able to pull my foot away from it, or is it like holding onto my foot?
Yeah, no, you can like pull it and like it almost like snaps the tendrils off straight away. But we're gonna roll initiative again.
Oh, dear God.
Ow! 6 points of damage.
Oh my gosh.
Straight off the bat.
I
bad-
rolled
how-
exactly the same as last
Orryn,
time.
how bad do you look
Oh,
for
gosh.
6 points of damage?
I mean, he looks bad.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! He only has about what 8 or 10 hit points total. So,
So let's say that's more than half.
oh my gosh!
So Juna, what's your initiative?
7.
7. Enkidu, what's yours?
5.
Oh god. Orryn, what's yours?
6.
Oh my God.
We're gonna die.
7. So you're actually in the exact same order that you were before, except the violet
Oh my
fungus
God.
around you.
We rolled bad.
Hey, what did Enkidu roll? What did you roll? 5.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
actually,
I
so
rolled a
Enkidu
5,
comes
Yeah.
after me with numbers. It's great. Suddenly, like all of you, like looking down at the ground, you notice that there are a lot more of these tendrils, almost completely surrounding you. So the violet fungus is going to make 1d4. Oh, it's only going to make 2 attacks. So the first one's going to be against Juna, and then against Enkidu. So Juna, 17. Does that hit you?
Yep.
Yep. In which case, like some of these tendrils suddenly like reach your foot, like dig straight through your shoe, and you take 5 points of necrotic damage as this same like sort of sucking, like draining sensation like pulses through your leg. Enkidu only rolled a 9 to hit you, so I'm assuming that's
Miss.
So these tentacles, like little tendrily things, they come out and they like. You've already had things attack your feet today, so you just start stamping on them, and they don't manage to land. Juna, it's your turn.
Oh dear God. I'm going to just don't want anyone to die.
Yeah, I really don't want anyone to die.
I'd say from like roughly how far you travelled into the little mushroom field, you're probably about 40 feet in from
Surrounded
the
by
entrance that you came in. And from where you're standing, you can see again this is an enclosed chamber.
What do you mean?
As in, there's only the one way in and out.
Further. Okay,
You can, but there's no other path out apart from the way you came in.
Am I next to Orryn? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sort of imagining you and Enkidu next to each other, and Orryn stood behind the two of you.
Okay. I'm going to put my hands on Orryn's shoulders. For the benefit of the podcast, my hands are held quite high. And I'm gonna say
I'm not that tall, to be honest, so
I'm 3 foot.
yeah, I'm only 5 foot, so
Okay, so there. Actually, no, I put one hand on because I got my stick. And I say, it's going to be all right. And I cast Cure Wounds.
Amazing.
Thank God.
Through touching his shoulder and looking into his eyes, if that's okay. I think that's her style. And so you get 1d8 plus your spell casting plus my spell casting. So do I have to roll his what he gets?
Yeah, you roll that, Juna.
I'll roll it for you. You can have 8 hit points back.
amazing.
And then I can't.
It's mutual healing.
I can't dash, can I? Because I've done an action.
Not as an action, but you can still move out of.
I'm going to move 25 feet, which is as far as I can move towards being out of the mushrooms.
Cool. Yep. So yeah, you push past Orryn and it's not necessarily difficult terrain, but there is a little bit of stamping along mushrooms as you're running. And yeah, the whole time that you're running out, you do realise that the entire little field is almost writhing suddenly at all of the movement.
Mm-hmm.
It is Orryn's turn.
Okay. Seeing Juna starting to head for the door, I'm gonna go. I think that's the right idea here. I'm gonna head. I'm not gonna dash. I'm gonna head to where she is. I think just to get sort of protectively not too far from her.
Also, I'm not looking. I'm under half hit points, so I'm also not looking great. Just so you know,
just throwing that out
I'm
there.
just hobbling along.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna leave her. So I'm gonna take 25 foot of movement to move up to her.
Yep, amazing.
And then are there things near us that I can kind of
almost
get my welding torch
completely
out
surrounding you? Yeah, there's you're basically stood in a little field of these things. So they're
Can I
everywhere
try and
underfoot.
clear anything that looks like it might sort of get me or Juna in the next turn?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the closer
welding torch?
tendrils as they're eking their way along. Yeah.
Just being no. Natural 2, so
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's only got an armor class of 5, so you're just pointing.
oh right. So that's 8. That's an 8.
8. Yeah, it's great. It's literally mushrooms on the floor.
Okay.
So
2 points of fire damage to the mushrooms on the floor.
nice. You sort of spray down again. Is it with?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the welding
With your
torch
welding
out again
torch
and
out,
just
so yeah.
give it a quick adjust, put it into mushroom killing mode as best I can, and just give it a little spray around our feet.
Spray down and you've got a little waft of flame, and a lot of these tendrils instantly wilt up and shrivel back, and the little sort of 5 foot space in front of you is probably cleared enough. You're quite happy that's not going to attack you just yet. Enkidu,
How close was Orryn to me?
he was 5 foot behind you, so now he's still actually only about 30 foot away, 25, 30 foot away.
So if I go backwards 10 feet, I'll be within melee range of it, right?
No, you probably have to travel 30 feet to get to Orryn.
Oh, not to Orryn, to the fucking...
They're
tendrils or
everywhere.
whatever. They're everywhere.
They're
Well,
everywhere.
I'm just gonna run to the door.
Everywhere you look under your feet, it's just more of them.
There's more of them everywhere. I'm just gonna run to the door. Join with
Are you gonna
yeah.
dash? Because the others have gotten about sort of 25 feet away, and they're still in
Okay.
the field. Are you gonna run right the way past them? Are you gonna join them?
Yeah, I'll run past them.
Yeah.
I said, look, I can back you up from here if they catch up to you.
Cool. I
don't think they're moving.
Well, the tendrils, you don't know, it still managed to grab your foot, you don't know.
With a dash action, you're right the way out of the field. So you just pelt past, being I'll help you from up here. stamping on mushrooms as you go, like anything you're wriggling that you think you see, you're just like, ugh. There is a little bit of like running into the darkness, but as it's been a fairly straight path out, Enkidu, you're fairly like safe and secure that you're not going to run straight into a wall. Right. But then it's their turn. Only two again. Two of these little tendrils come out and attack, one to Juna, one to Orryn. Juna, 6. Does that hit you?
No.
And Orryn, 14. Does that hit you?
Yeah, that does. Yeah.
Oh no.
14. So that is another 5 points of necrotic damage as more of these tendrils, like you've cleared the path ahead perhaps, but those behind you suddenly like reek up around the other foot this time. It's just that like it's almost like the other knee buckles as like this thing tries pulling you down. It is Juna's turn.
His less good leg too.
How far am I from the entrance that we came in?
Probably about 15 feet.
Okay, I'm just gonna squeeze Orryn's hand and then walk towards the door.
So like as
not the door, the entrance.
The entrance, yeah.
Yeah.
As you're like out of the field, like obviously you've still got the pathway that led you into this chamber. All of those mushrooms you realise aren't moving at all. They're almost like younger versions of the field that you found. So you're quite secure where you are, but that does leave Orryn alone with the mushrooms. What are you doing?
Oh gosh.
I'm going to stay and fight. I can take... No,
I'm going
to...
Blaze of glory.
Pegging it for the way out as well, please.
Amazing. Yeah. So yeah, as soon as you're like off of that carpet of violet fungus, you feel quite safe. Panicked, and your legs, like, they just feel really tired, essentially. Like, there's that, like, that weariness. It's almost as if you've walked 100 miles and you just need to put them up and rest them.
I think it's probably time we found our way out now, boys.
Yeah.
We've had enough fun for one day.
Yeah.
This is fun, is it? Right. Yeah, I'm all for leaving.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you hobble your way back toward that chamber where there's four routes. You've sort of
Let's go down the boring one this time.
Yeah, can somebody make a survival check just so you're not too disorientated about like coming in and out of these routes?
I mean, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go.
Go on, Orryn. Go on,
Go on.
14.
Yay!
14. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So, you like remembering that the mushrooms was to the left, the cockatrice was straight ahead. Then you now essentially have to cross the little chamber and head straight out. And as you start winding down this third path for yourselves, probably about 10-15 minutes after like edging down it, like the air does start to feel a little bit fresher. And then after another few moments, you notice a little bit of light coming from sort of further around another bend. And there's another little fork, but it's quite obvious that one leads to darkness and the other one is almost leading to a way out. So you take that one. And as you're walking around, you notice...
I'm assuming, boys, that we don't want to go down that one.
No, I don't. Yeah. I don't want to go down that one. If you two want to go down that one, that's your business, and I shall say goodbye and nice knowing you and carry on out. But I'm going out.
And again, it's maybe another sort of 5 minutes of walking, and you come around a corner and you see the entrance of the cave. However, at the entrance of the cave is the copper-haired woman. And she's just like, "Oh, thank you so much for helping me." And she's talking to a big, burly, half-orc, heavily armoured guy. His hair in a little top knot. So he's got big tusks. And she's like, "I'm sure my wife will just be ever so grateful for you to have found her." And
I shout out, I'm like, hey, you, don't fall for it. She's a tricksy one, she is. Don't follow her. Run for your life.
She instantly, she turns and you can just, even in her silhouette, you see a bit of panic in her face. And she's like, "These ruffians, they must have done something to my wife. Oh, kind sir. Oh, please. Oh, help her. They're probably killed. Oh. And
I don't think so.
This half-orc paladin, he steps forward. He's like, "Don't worry, madam. I will protect you. I've been hoping to deal with some ruffians all day. Stand back, lady, stand back. And he pulls out a massive greatsword, and like he butters himself down, and he's almost got that like arrogance of like, I'm just gonna show off here. Like these people, they look nothing. And this poor woman, she like sort of stands behind him, shoots you a look of panic, and just turns and starts running into the forest herself. The half-orc, he turns around, he's like, "Don't worry, madam, I'll deal with these. Come on then. Come on, show me what you've got, you utter scoundrels, you."
Put that away. Put it down.
Can I, before she runs off into the forest, can I, like, grab her with my catapult spell and send her flying just enough into the air to stop her from running, but not enough to really seriously injure her, but enough so that she ain't running anywhere, please?
How much weight can the catapult spell catapult? So if it can catapult a person, I'm definitely letting you do that.
Oh, is she too heavy?
Oh yeah, she's probably too heavy, but having used it before, you'd know roughly how much you could do. So you're more than welcome to catapult something at her as she runs.
What's around for me to catapult her?
Oh, there's loads of rocks and things.
Yeah, I'm going to catapult a rock at her. My aim isn't to kill her, but I don't like her. So what I would like to do is almost like scoop her just up under the bum, so she almost like lands on her bum.
So yeah, you do. You manage to catch her like just in the back of the thigh, and like so she like yelps as she's running away and like stumbles, and you do see her like trip and fall into the forest.
And can I follow this up by saying to he's half orc guy, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk to him in Orcish and say, "Do not trust this woman. We've been in here. We've nearly died today." This is how orcs speak in my head.
Orc accent. I love it. Yeah.
No, it's like, we trusted her and we've only just escaped. We only met each other today, and the only reason that we're friends is that she trapped us in there and we've been trying to get out. Would you go against the advice of an old woman? Huh? You young scallywag?
Make a persuasion check.
Why, of course. 12.
12. He sort of looks at you. He's like, he replies in common so that he can like perform it to the group. He's like, "Why would I trust somebody who throws rocks at poor women who've lost their wives? You utter scoundrels! Madam, are you okay? Madam, hello." No.
Well,
face me.
Here's the thing.
I don't mind hacking you all at once, but I would prefer it if it was one at a time.
Wait, no one's fighting anyone.
I tried it. No. I try and kind of like I switch my accent to like kind of street talk because I grew up around orcs, a lot of orcs.
Nice.
Like, yo, mate. Yo, bro. Listen, mate. Like this performance is kind of crap. It's not working, mate. I'm sure there are more worthy causes for you to like shine your shiny little paladin shield and sword that you freshly got off the black market down in Dram. But like, mate, it's not working here. We're in a cave in the middle of bloody nowhere. You're not going to do anything. No one's going to know that you've done this. So why don't you just pop your sword, walk off, and find something more.
I will know very well that I rescued a poor woman and her puppy.
She's on her ass on the floor over there, mate.
And he starts like edging forward, and like there is a slight like tentativeness in his expression, but he's like, "Raw, waving my bloody sword at you. Come on."
Right, okay.
Enkidu sighs and throws an eldritch blast at him.
Amazing. All right, roll initiative.
Yeah, it was inevitable.
Whoa.
Does that mean that he took him by surprise?
No, so that would just be Enkidu's first attack, as it were.
Oh, I rolled better this time, guys.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I didn't. So,
Juna, what'd you get?
I got a 17.
Ooh, cool. Enkidu, what'd you get?
7.
7.
Oh, no.
Here. And Orryn.
And I'm the one who struck first.
I also got a 17.
17? Oh, nice. What's your dex, Orryn?
15.
15, so Juna's still higher. She's a very nimble old lady.
She is.
It is Juna's turn. So as you see Enkidu charging up his Eldritch Blast, Juna, what are you doing?
How near to this half-orc guy am I?
You're still probably about 10 feet away. 10 feet away from him.
I'm gonna walk up to him, look him in the eye, and in orc, I'm gonna say, "Jerk!" and cast Word of Radiance.
Yes. peaking on those sound levels.
Juna's magic seems to involve shouting in someone's face. It's the most Vicky magic I've ever come across in my life.
Perfect Vicky character ever. I love it. So well. So good.
So he needs to do a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save 14.
My number is 14 as well.
So roll a 14, which just beats your saving throw, and the guy doesn't look very impressed. He does look a little bit hurt, but he's just like, all right then. And it's Orryn's turn.
I don't really want to fight this guy.
I'll let any of you use a bonus action to try and persuade him down. It will be with disadvantage because there has already been some aggression toward him. If you did want to try and persuade him, I'd give it to you as a bonus action.
Okay, I'm gonna try and spend my bonus action persuading him. I'm just gonna go in Orcish because everyone else has spoken Orcish, so why not?
We'll speak Orcish, amazing.
Just go.
Love that.
All right, look, I don't know if I'm making an assumption that you don't actually even speak Orcish, but I suspect you probably do. Look, we're not actually. I certainly don't want to fight you. I don't think any of us really want to fight you. Can we just walk away?
Make a persuasion with disadvantage.
10.
10. He's still looking fairly angry. Well, less angry and more just like in the fight at this point, unfortunately. But he looks over at you and he's like, well, little man, perhaps you should have thought about that before attacking these poor people. It is now his turn, and he is going to swing his long sword at Juna. She's the one right in his face. So 19, does that hit?
Oh my gosh!
Ooh!
He's only, I said great sword earlier, but he's got a long sword in his hand. I should probably look at his character sheet before just making stuff up. He's got a sword and shield. That's what it says. But he rolls 9 points of damage.
Juna falls unconscious on the floor.
And he just he doesn't even get her with like the blade. It's like the hilt and the handle and like just whacks her to the side almost. But almost as soon as he's done that, you could just see pure regret over him. He's like, I'm very sorry. I don't normally hit old women. Oh God, is she okay?
I don't think so. You've just whacked her in the face with a big sword.
You've done it now.
And he sort of just drops down next to her. But it is Enkidu's turn.
Like seeing Juna go down just awakens something horrible inside him, and he's just like, you chastised us for attacking this woman, and you doing the same thing. Are you really a paladin? You're gonna get what's coming to you. I'm gonna cast Wrathful Smite at him. So he has to make a Wisdom saving throw, and it has to be a 13.
Wrathful Smite.
It has to be a 13, did you say?
Yeah.
He got 11 altogether.
So he fails. He is now frightened of me until the spell ends.
Does he take any damage with that?
No, but if I hit him with a melee attack, he takes an extra 1d6, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to stride right up to him, like raise my falchion, and I'm going to hit him. I'm just going to hit him. Like I don't take to him hitting old ladies. That was an 8. No, it's a 7 to hit.
Oh gosh! So you walk over and because he's not really moving much. You just sort of like whack him down on his armor. And he just looks up at you like, I'm sorry. I mean, stop it. But this poor woman needs help. Stop. It's Juna's turn. Can you make a death saving throw, please?
Oh my gosh.
Jesus. So what do I have to get to
You just
not
have
be
to
10.
10 or above.
12.
12. Okay, so that's one success. Orryn, it's your turn.
Okay, seeing my gnome companion down on the floor, Orryn's going to run over. He's going to pull his little pouch out that had the bees in before, and he's just going to run up and he's going to gently just pop the pop the bees onto the indentation left in his known companion by this
Oh my
thug.
gosh.
Yeah, and like this poor woman, like Juna's crumpled on the floor. Like there is, especially where she's like been almost thrown against the rocks. Like there is like her head's bleeding a little bit. Like there's bruising already coming up down her side and her neck.
Oh no.
Hello. That's going to be 11 points of healing.
Nice.
Oh wow.
I rolled a 7.
I'll happily take 9 of those, but that's as much as I can.
The bees are very efficient.
And this half orc, he's this is onto his turn. He's like, good. Well, and he sort of just like stands up and backs up a little bit with his sword out and is like, well, I hope that teaches you all a lesson. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, madam. I'm really sorry. But good day. Good day to you. If you did you see a woman and a puppy in there?
I mean, because he's still frightened, right? I'd shoot an Eldritch Blast at his feet, not to hit him, just to say, just get lost.
Yes. Okay. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. He just keeps
Just
looking
leave.
over at
Just
Juna,
leave.
just backing up with the sword out still.
Juna gives him 0 reaction.
Just before you go, you're not called Merida, are you?
No.
I love him.
Just wanted to check.
Get lost.
No, he does. He keeps backing up as far as he can, and then he turns around to go find the copperhead woman. He's like, Madam, I failed you.
I wouldn't.
And sort of like runs off a little bit into the forest.
There's no helping someone as stupid
When he's
as that.
run off, Juna turns to Orryn and says, he's right though. I did learn a lesson today. And then turns to Enkidu and turns back to Orryn and says, a very valuable lesson, boys.
Are you going to keep us in suspense?
Oh, it was implied that I've made 2 very good friends today. And I'm very grateful that you were with me today. And it's very nice to discover some very good young men. That was the lesson that I've learned today. It wasn't the lesson that he meant while I'm explaining. He meant that we've learned a lesson to be scared of him, you see. But actually, the lesson that I learned was that I can trust you 2 young lads and that having some friends is probably quite a nice thing to have. So he was right. I did learn a lesson today, boys. Thank you.
That's very nice. And
Then she turns to these and says, and thank you too.
I mean, I don't think they can understand you, to be honest. But
Yeah, in Kidu, he kneels down and asks, "Are you okay? Can you walk all right?"
I think I'll be all right. She sort of tries to stand up and is a bit wobbly.
Oh gosh, he rushes forward. It's like, oh my gosh,
But when
helps her
she's up, she's a bit more like she's sort of Grandpa Joe getting out of bed in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to her feet sit.
Right.
I've also, I guess, learnt that some people are tougher than they look.
Yeah.
Juna gives him a wink.
So you all head out of the cave a little bit.
Is the copperhead woman still there, or is she gone as well?
No, there's no sign of her at all. Weaving away back through the trees, you make it back to the road where it is that the woman had stopped each of you anyway. And you realise quite quickly they're actually all heading in the same direction.
Well, isn't that lovely,
Quite nice.
boys?
Sort of you almost prepared to say your goodbyes, and then it's like, we're all heading this way. And yeah, it's probably about another half a day, sort of pushing on into the evening before you reach the town of Tillisham. Lovely little town as you sort of step out of the Lockholt Woods. The path leads you into the town. Again, you don't have any food or drink with you. Your healing stuff is all still gone, but at least you're alive.
Yeah.
That was a waste of 5 gold.
But of course, sorry, mate. You might be able to get it back at some point, I'm sure. But understandably, having spent the better part of the day travelling, you're quite hungry. So you make your way to the closest tavern that you can, and that's the knocking point. And just outside, the little sign is like an archer with his bow and arrow fully drawn. And as you enter, that's where we will leave it off.
Oh.
You have been listening to David Knight as your Dungeon Master, Ben Galpin as Orryn, Darrel Bailey as Enkidu, and Vicky Gaskin as Juna. Original music by David Knight. Please tell your friends, subscribe to us and follow us on